and welcome everyone. I'm Luke and I'm joined by Shady as always. How's it going, Shady?
Hey mate, how are you going? Hello everyone.
I noticed you just took a sip of coffee before we started.
Yeah, yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. It's Ramadan now, so I'm like fasting for most of the
Uh,
day, and yeah, so I just broke my fast early, and I've got like this. I need my caffeine kick, so
right.
I'm just like, yeah, start
Started.
pounding back the coffees in the evening.
It started yesterday, was it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay. Well,
yeah.
yeah. So I
So
guess
that's the story of the late night espressos.
explains the coffee, the coffee hits. Um,
Yeah,
I guess we can start off this week's podcast with the last game against Parma.
yeah.
What were your thoughts on that?
It was a good win. It was a good win. I think it was what we talked about last week. Briefly, I think it was what we talked about last week. We wanted a comfortable win or a win that just made the statement, and I think it was just that. Bizarre sending off. Obviously, we could go on and on about that because really, if players are getting sent off for stuff like that, then most games are going to end with like eight players against 9 players. You know what I mean? You're going to get like at least a good 4 or 5 players sent off every match.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a bit bizarre, but in the grand scheme of things, I'm definitely happy with the win.
Yeah. And I liked that something that we've been calling out for weeks, I think, the two of us, is an early goal that kind of doesn't put the game to bed, but it kind of just gives us that lead and it makes it that bit harder for us to screw it up later on. I think that the Zlatan, after Zlatan got his red, it kind of did change the game, that we kind of, it just put them back in. I mean, as you can expect with 10 men, that they just kind of came back into things. But otherwise, yeah, a pretty good game. I thought Kessie and Benacer were good. Benacer's looks like he's kind of growing back into what he was. Even Duller, I thought he was better than, well, I thought he had a pretty good game after he came on.
He did well.
Yeah, 3-1. Lucky with that late Liao goal, but yeah.
But hey, they all count. So, and it's good confidence, because Leao's one of those confidence players anyway. So it's good to give him that boost,
Absolutely.
especially if we're going to be relying on him for Genoa. Who knows? I mean, there's talk of Mandzukic starting up front, but we'll see.
Well, speaking of Genoa, should we move on to that game?
I think we should. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's good.
Let's keep it quick.
How do you see it?
I think, yeah, much the same. I think. Well, I think Genoa are a little bit better than Parma, but yeah, it's another one of those classic games where we've just got to put to bed early. We don't have Zlatan, as you said, so whoever's starting up front, whether that's Leao or whether Mandzukic comes in, hopefully they can switch on. I hope Rebic stays around in the starting 11.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
I hope so too. Yeah.
But other than that, I don't think too many movements in the starting 11.
Oh, no, I'll probably keep it the same. I think Romagnoli might be in the squad, might be able to make the squad, and Calabria is almost there. I can't imagine he'd start, but this one at least. But I believe he's almost back to like full fitness, so that's great news. I would, yeah, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. I wouldn't change it. I'd keep things as they are.
And as I said, I really liked that Kessie Benacer combo in the midfield. And let's just let them do their thing, return to what they were.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, for me, again, as a Tonali fan, I want to see more of Sandro Tonali, but I guess these two have like a very dynamic duo. I mean, they are a dynamic duo. They have this understanding of partnership, and perhaps now that Benas is starting to find form again, might be a good idea just to do that and then give Tonali some time in the second half. I would personally, if it were up to me, I would probably start Leao up front and then bring Mandzukic on, and not the other way around. But that's just me. That's my 2 cents. What about you? Who would you start up front?
I'd agree. The same. We still really haven't seen Mandzukic do anything, so why should we back him over Leao? I mean, Leao's proven himself a little bit this season, and we know he can score goals and he's explosive and he's exciting, so give it to him.
Yeah, and I think Mandzukic can come on in the second half kind of exploit those tired legs, and he's got
Yeah.
heaps of experience. I think he'd know where to find the space in the box, and potentially poach a goal.
Yeah. Speaking of players in form and players that can be dangerous, on the other side of the coin, are there any players over at Genoa that you're a little bit nervous about to see?
I don't know if Pandev is going to be available for this match, but he always seems to show up against us. There's the striker, Skamaka, is it? Yeah, I think you've mentioned them a couple of times before when you talked about players to keep an eye out for. So they've got a decent squad. I was surprised just preparing for this talk, looking at the squad. I was surprised to find out that Strootman's with Genoa. I haven't seen too much of him, and apart from perhaps not researching enough about Genoa, doing enough research about Genoa, but yeah, they've got a decent squad, I think. So probably Skamaka and Pandev, if he's available, they're the ones I'd probably be looking out for.
And Strootman was a part of a pretty handy Roma side back in the day, so he knows what's going on. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, he's a good player. He was unlucky with injuries, I think, really unlucky. And Roma had a really good side at the time, but they kind of underachieved, I guess.
Yep, and let's not forget Perrin between the sticks, who I'm sure will save some pretty good shots as well.
Yeah, he is a good keeper.
For sure. Well, predictions?
I'm going to go 2-1 win.
Yeah, I'll say 2-0. I think we'll keep on. I want a clean sheet. We almost had one.
I'd hope so too.
And yeah, I think Giorgio, I mean, I was going to say I think Giorgio deserves it, but he deserves it for his on-field performances, maybe not his off-field contract and performances. Yeah.
Speaking of that, let's just brush up on that for like a quick minute. Did you like what Costa Curta said the other day? Is like he should be doing less of the badge kissing and more like, putting his money where his mouth is and actually renewing.
It's an interesting one because on field, you look at him and you think he's in love with the club and he's one of the most passionate Milan players. And there's that disconnect to what he does off field. And you have to think that even if he is setting a good example on field and even off field, what he's doing around the rooms and everything, that those news articles wouldn't be great to read for the rest of the players and that speculation hanging over the group.
Exactly. I mean, if you love, I agree with that statement, by the way. I mean, that really, the fact that we've been talking about this week after week after week, seriously, need to put this issue to bed. Yes or no? You're staying or you're going? I mean, your contract's running out. I mean, are you going to go to PSG or are you staying put? Or Chelsea? I mean, those are the two, I guess, that have been really mentioned, which is funny because they both have actually pretty decent keepers. But anyways, yeah. So
and it's not his first time that he's done this, unfortunately.
You'd think he'd learn. I mean, we love Gigio. I mean, I think I speak on behalf of both of us when I say we love Gigio, and a lot of Milanisti do. And we know he's a Milan fan, but he just needs to, draw a line for me, for his agent, and be like, look, mate, I'm staying. Just make it happen.
Yeah, I agree. Well, hopefully we'll see it. It's coming pretty close to the line, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's going down to the wire. It is.
Anyway, we can move on to, unless there's anything else.
No, let's talk about the event, mate.
Looking exciting thing,
good times.
Our second event for this season, which is the Milan Genoa event, obviously. This Sunday for all of us Melburnians or Australians. If you're not in Melbourne, try and get down. I don't know if you can, but try. It's a 7:30 dinner leading into kickoff at 8:30 at Miss Frankie's in Richmond or Cremorne. So if it's anything like the last event, which I'm sure it will be, if not better, it'll be an excellent night and lots of fun for all of us.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Should be good fun. Be good to have everyone around, and it'd be good to get a win as well with everyone around this time.
Absolutely, we're crying out for that.
And
the atmosphere was great last time. Like that draw when we scored that goal, it felt like we just won anyway. So I'd like to actually see a win.
Yeah, it would be good.
Yeah. Definitely. On that though, if you haven't booked tickets for it, it is a ticketed event. So make sure you get online, do that nice and early. So I'm not sure if we have a limit, but it's tickets are selling fast. So get on and try and do that early. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah, look forward to seeing everyone there. It'll be good fun.
It will be indeed. Otherwise, that's kind of all I've got.
Well, it's been good talking, mate. I'll see you on Sunday.
Yeah, and a nice and fast one, Shady.
Yeah, good. To the point. Yeah.
Yeah,
Short but
exactly.
sweet.
Yeah, we could speak for hours if we didn't have time around.
Yeah, exactly. So, that's true.
Well, anyway, as always, Forza Milan, and see you at the event.
I'll see you at the event. Forza Milan. See you, mate.
See ya.